Today on Good Morning Maine, police are investigating a shooting that occurred on Friday in Norway, which appears to be a murder. Plus, an inmate that escaped from an assigned work site in Machias on Thursday is back in custody. And an addiction recovery and community center in Bangor will soon receive nearly $500,000 from the city to improve its operations. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. Let's get a first check of that forecast with Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Happy Monday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. All right, let's get things rolling out there. And again, we have dense fog advisories on a few spots this morning, mainly in the southwestern parts of the state, running until about 10 a.m. this morning. The fog, rather patchy in nature, but on top of that, we're watching for rain that'll be moving into. This aerial flood watch has been expanded to include the northwestern parts of Maine until 8 a.m. as we head towards Tuesday. Here's where the fog is at right now. Not too bad in our neck of the woods, maybe a little bit in a few spots like Washington County and other spots, but mainly a gust in areas to the south and west. Noticing some areas of dense fog developing there this morning. Otherwise, so we're looking pretty decent out there. Clouds moving in. Maybe a few showers on the way as the day progresses on. Nothing too ridiculous. Plenty of dry hours as well. We'll be watching the rain slowly moving in from the west to the east, as showers and thunderstorms will be on the way this week as well. Let's zoom things out and give you the bigger picture. So here we are. So we have all this rain that's off to the west right now, trying to track off towards the north and east. But again, more showers and storms on the way for us later on tonight, and also continuing into the daytime tomorrow. So futurecast for today, just a few showers today, but by tonight, better chances for showers and thunderstorms move in, with some breaks on the way as we head towards Tuesday. Hourly forecast moving forward, showing chances for a few showers, temperatures in the 70s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Emma?
Thank you, Devin. The Maine Warden Dive Team recovered the body of a man from Hope who drowned while rescuing his children on Saturday on Seven Tree Pond at Air Park in Union. Our Grace Blanchard was in Union discussing with locals what we know about the tragic accident.
A resident from Hope, Maine was enjoying the afternoon with his family on Saturday when suddenly one of his daughters fell into deeper water at Seven Tree Pond, where the river enters the pond. His other daughter attempted to rescue her, but both were swept out by the currents. Henry Brooks, who was sitting at a picnic table watching his daughters, saw what occurred and jumped into the water to rescue them, followed by his 27-year-old son. According to officials from the Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife, the son was able to bring the daughters back to safety on a nearby dock. However, when he turned back, his father, Henry Brooks, was no longer visible.
His two daughters were struggling in the water out there in the current. The St. George River empties into Seven Tree Pond here at that location, and all the high rains we've had, high amount of rain, there's been a pretty swift current in there. It's actually pretty difficult to go kayaking up that river at the moment.
Locals say they have noticed the water levels are 2 feet higher than usual during this time of year, which could have impacted the intensity of the current. And although there have been some close calls, it's been years since an incident like this has occurred.
Yeah, it's a pretty sad thing, and I've lived here for many years in the town. Last time someone had the same here was actually about 40 years ago off the beach here. So it's very, very rare in this pond.
Officials say game wardens, Union Fire and Rescue, and Knox County Sheriff's Office were called to the scene, but were unable to locate Brooks. After 3 Maine Warden Service divers arrived, he was found at approximately 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, not far from the dock where his son brought the daughters to safety. According to officials, Brooks was taken to the Halls Funeral Home in Waldoboro, while his son and 2 daughters were taken to Penn Bay Medical Center, where they remained under observation on Saturday night. In Union, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Officers from the Norway Police Department found the body of a deceased woman in the driveway of a home on Friday afternoon. According to a press release from the Department of Public Safety, on Friday around 12 p.m., the Norway Police Department received reports of a disturbance. Police say an unidentified caller reported that 61-year-old Andrew St. George of Norway may have killed his wife, 60-year-old Barbara St. George. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner has ruled Barbara's death a homicide. Andrew was taken to Stevens Memorial Hospital for minor injuries and was later arrested for the murder of his wife. Andrew is being held without bail at the Oxford County Jail while awaiting an initial court appearance at the Oxford Superior Court. Barbara's cause of death has not been released at this time. An Aroostook County man appeared in court Friday after being accused of murder in the death of his girlfriend. Jamie Schnackenberg, who's seen walking into court with his lawyers, was arrested in late June and charged with murder in the death of 42-year-old Kimberly Hardy. According to prosecutors, court documents show associates of the defendant told investigating officers they heard him say he had killed Hardy by shooting her twice in the head. A state police spokesperson says the two lived together in their School Street home in Monticello. Hardy was reported missing by her mother on June 18th. Friday, lawyers faced off over whether Schnackenberg, who previously lived in Connecticut, should be allowed bail.
This court can take into consideration the nature of the charge and potential penalties that this defendant faces, from 25 years to potential life sentence, which certainly is an impetus to flee the area, especially with limited ties to the area.
After questioning by the police, was home for several days, in fact, surrendered himself to the police, has not shown any evidence that he intends to flee or made any attempt to flee.
The judge ordered Schnackenberg be held without bail. It's unclear when he will be in court again. An inmate at the Down East Correctional Facility who walked off a work site Thursday and later incited a police standoff is in custody once again. According to the Department of Corrections, inmate James Berube left his assigned work site at Maine Wild in Machias on Thursday afternoon. Berube was located at a residence in Pleasant Point at approximately 9:45 Thursday night and taken into custody following a 7-hour standoff with police. James Berube was serving a 12-year sentence with all but 5 years suspended for kidnapping, burglary, theft, arson, and eluding an officer. He's now being charged with escape and creating a police standoff. He has been transported to the Maine State Prison. Crews are trying to make a way out for a handful of families in Jay cut off by recent storms. Rushing water blew out their driveways or their streets, stopping them from leaving. Mal Meyer has an update on the recovery efforts.
It's been a week since flash flooding tore through roads in Jay. Here on Sewell's Hill Road, residents are getting creative to get out of their own homes.
It didn't take long at all.
Courtney Ryder had just arrived home during last week's storm when her neighbor texted her asking if her driveway was all right. Within minutes, it wasn't.
It just started to pool up right here and then went around my culvert and made its own little ditch.
The destruction only got worse from there. Her car is up by her house, unable to get out. At first, she had to ask for rides.
This is actually my father's truck. My truck is still parked up at my house. I ended up having to borrow his truck for a few days so that way I could actually get to work and get back.
We're trying right now to get everyone access to their properties.
The town's manager hoped they would have that done by the end of the day. Other repairs could take weeks or months, so the town is working with a couple of area contractors.
We wouldn't be able to do it. It's just we don't have that in-house capability to manage all of this at the same time.
She says they're looking at upwards of $2 million in damage, and that's just the town's portion. There's also state roads.
It's all adding up very quickly.
Communities are tallying up these totals in the hopes of getting a federal disaster declaration. She says they have a good undesignated fund to pay for this.
You still have to front the money and then get reimbursed, so that will be another challenge.
In the face of a difficult situation, Lafreniere says staff have been incredible. Ryder feels the same about those who wanted to lend a helping hand, offering to bring her food or find a way out.
It's been really interesting, but I can't say enough about my great neighbors and how thankful I am for this community just to reach out and see what they could do to help.
A bill that aimed to eliminate the current net energy billing policy in Maine failed in the Senate on Thursday. Back in 2019, the legislature voted to establish a net energy billing program to motivate residential use of solar energy. LD 1347 sought to undo that program. Bill sponsor Stephen Foster says the program is unnecessary and results in an added cost to non-participant neighboring NEB projects.
Payers basically have to make up the difference. 15% that they are getting is being funded, if you will, by their neighbors. by those who may not be able to afford it.
A group called Maine Conservation Voters opposed LD 1347. They say the group was glad to see a separate bill, LD 1986, pass in the Senate. They say this legislation would instead reform the NEB program while holding utility companies accountable by requiring cost benefits.
That kind of instability would really have derailed Maine's progress towards clean energy.
Representative Foster says he and the bill's co-sponsors will review the impacts of recently passed LD 1986 over time. The Bangor Area Recovery Network, also known as BARN, will be receiving $415,000 from the city of Bangor. This money comes from the city's $16.6 million COVID relief fund. 60 applications from local organizations and nonprofits were submitted to the city. From there, the Heart of Maine United Way evaluated and ranked each application based on who would benefit the most from the funding. The Bangor Area Recovery Network will be one of the first to receive the funding and will use the money towards building renovations, including electrical upgrades and solar panel installation.
We find we have to spend more on operational supplies. We have to spend more on our energy bills. And that gives us less money to really put towards the missions work and programmatic stuff we're doing. So it is important that these organizations get these monies.
The rest of the $16.6 million must be designated by the city by 2024 and spent by 2027. All right, the time now is 6:12. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, if the returnables are piling up in your recycling bins, the Challenger Learning Center in Bangor is seeking donations in order to fulfill its mission of inspiring students into STEM learning. But before we go, let's take another look at that forecast. Showers are likely throughout the day. Those clouds will stay in the sky. Highs will be about 75 degrees today, only dropping to a low of 63 tonight. We'll have a chance of thunderstorms overnight, and that will continue on into tomorrow. Mostly cloudy, chance of thunderstorms. High of similar of today, 74 degrees.
I hurt my shoulder in a car accident and needed lots of medical treatment, but the insurance company only offered me this tiny little check.
This tiny check won't even cover my medical bills.
After a car accident, don't take a tiny check from the insurance company. Call the twos.
I didn't accept this tiny check. I called the twos, and Lowry & Associates got me $300,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do? Call 222-2222.
Wish you had help getting things done. Same. So I got Spectrum One. It's fast internet, unlimited mobile, and advanced Wi-Fi, all for a great price. Spectrum helps me run all this easily. Work, bust. Treat dispenser, treating. And since I'm always on this, unlimited mobile is a no-brainer.
Get Spectrum Internet for $49.99 a month plus advanced Wi-Fi and your first line of unlimited mobile free for 12 months. Call 833-803-4999 or visit Spectrum.com today.
Name a way a woman likes her men and her cheese.
Full of adventure.
Family Feud. Stop all this adventure.
Weekdays at 9 on ABC7.
How do you figure that it's not your fault? If not yours, then whose?
Marilyn Millian.
Look, miss. Don't call me miss, it's Judge.
Well, Miss Judge.
Not Miss Judge, just Judge.
The People's Court. I like your style, Judge.
All this week at 4 on ABC7.
If 4th of July celebrations have turned your recycling bin into a black hole of cans and bottles, there's one way you can make some extra space. The Challenger Learning Center of Maine is collecting returnables to fulfill its mission of inspiring students into STEM learning. Funds from the drive will go towards children's space programs at the center, teaching kids about rockets, wind turbines, engineering, and more. This year, bottles are being collected at the Challenger Learning Center in Bangor, and organizers ask that you leave closed bags in the blue trailer in their parking lot. You can stop by the center to drop off your bottle and can donations anytime through August 31st. Plenty of time. All right, in other news, 20 single mothers in Maine who have formerly experienced homelessness are getting an extra boost to help make ends meet. The Quality Housing Coalition says each month for a year, the mothers will receive $1,000 through the Project Home Trust. The coalition says it's the first direct cash assistance program in the state, and the moms will get 12 direct payments with no strings attached.
Pay for childcare, pay for the food, pay for a car repair, or even just transport it's just so hard for one person. Having that cash support for a period of 1 year could help you get stable at least until you're able to get on your feet and be able to provide for yourself and your children.
The Quality Housing Coalition says the moms are also given the opportunity to be part of a cohort where they can get together to share meals, discuss resources, and meet with experts who can provide guidance, such as financial planning. If you're interested in investing in a mom, reach out to the coalition. This story's up on foxbangor.com. A local Orrington store is closing after being part of the community for over 100 years. The Cozy Corner, formerly known as Bob's Cozy Corner, has been a staple in the Orrington community for several years. And according to the owner, it has been in operating business in some form or another for over 100 years. Owner Mike Labrie announced the closing on Facebook last week. Labrie says this comes after struggling to keep the location open due to financial and mental burdens following the COVID-19 pandemic and a fire in February of last year. The news has caused disappointment throughout the community.
We've been coming here for years, and it's just the place to get your meal on a weekend for sure.
It's very sad.
You bet.
And I hope that somebody steps in and buys it.
It's just sad because, I've been working for Mike since I've been working. Yeah, the customers have been upset that we're closing because the store has been open for a while, and since the fire it's been busy because it's obviously newer and it looks newer and stuff.
The doors will be closing officially on July 16th, just a few days away as the town begins its Old Home Week celebration. For now, the business remains on the market. All right, the time now is 6:17. After the break, a state of emergency has been declared overnight in certain parts of the Northeast as catastrophic flooding hits New York. We'll have the details on this and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
This coffee went from last resort to first option.
Now try a McCafe iced coffee with bold new flavor. Get any size for just $1.79. Only at McDonald's.
Starting this morning, GMA's live from. Go on, tell them, Robin and Lara.
GMA is taking center court.
Wimbledon, here we come.
And we love ourselves some tennis. Only on
Good Morning Wimbledon.
Oh, I see what you did there.
You got that?
Goose River Farm and Meat Store is conveniently located on Route 3 across from Hammond Lumber in Belfast. They have a wide selection of meat and poultry, including beef, pork, lamb, chicken, duck, rabbit, and turkey. Buy your steak and meats for grilling this summer.
Update your outdoor living space and make the most of your outdoor life with a new deck from Hammond Lumber Company. From wood to low-maintenance composite and PVC decking, Hammond has the materials, knowledge, and experience to help you get everything you need for that perfect new deck. Railing options include wood, composite, aluminum, and the modern look of cable railing. Your Hammond sales rep can answer any questions and will walk you through your options. Get the deck you want, the one you deserve, when you bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company.
You love a cold, refreshing soft drink from McDonald's. So we've got even colder ones.
Now get any size frozen Coca-Cola for just $1.99. Only at McDonald's.
Overnight, a state of emergency in parts of the Northeast due to catastrophic flooding. One official is comparing the damage north of New York City this morning to a war zone. ABC's Andrea Fujii has the latest.
This morning, new images of catastrophic flooding north of New York City along the Hudson River.
Water was literally just piling onto the road.
This family frantically tried to keep water out of their home in Orange County, where at least one death is attributed to the floods. A woman swept away by the fast-moving water.
There's some major flash flood, major washouts were all around where her house is. So I could definitely see where she was trying to get out to safety, but did not make it, got swept away, and unfortunately did not make it.
Oh my God! Please stop! Nearly 8 inches of rain triggered the flash flooding, seen here at the U.S. Military Academy, West Point. Authorities in the area said multiple water rescues were underway overnight as the National Weather Service urged people to seek higher ground.
Every road that I go on, either there's power lines down or the trees down, it's flooded. I can't get home. That's why I flagged you guys down.
On the other side of the country, the Southwest is gearing up for a second consecutive week of 110-plus degree temperatures. Phoenix is expected to see highs of 115 degrees this week. Sweltering conditions are also expected to continue across South Florida, from Naples to Miami, where the feels-like temperature hit 109 over the weekend. Experts say climate change makes typical heat waves about 5 degrees warmer. And as the heat waves become more deadly, some advocates are now pushing for the federal government to update the law and require landlords to provide air conditioning, similar to the law that requires them to provide heat in the winter. In the meantime, the heat is driving up the cost of AC repairs, with some parts hard to find. Costs are up an estimated 25% in the last 3 years. In the last 2 weeks, heat-related emergency room visits have nearly doubled in some states.
Governor Janet Mills and Maine's congressional delegation announced Friday that President Biden has approved the state of Maine's request for a major disaster declaration for 8 Maine counties impacted by a severe spring storm. Last month, Governor Mills requested that President Biden issue the declaration for Franklin, Kennebec, Knox, Lincoln, Oxford, Sagadahoc, Somerset, and Waldo counties for damage sustained by the storm on April 30th and May 1st. That storm caused more than $2 million in infrastructure damage. The disaster declaration unlocks federal assistance, including supplemental grants to state, local, and tribal governments, so communities can respond to and recover from major disasters. The disaster declaration also unlocks federal funding to help develop hazard mitigation plans and rebuild in a way that can lessen or prevent future losses. All right, the time now is 6:22. Let's get a full look at that forecast with meteorologist Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. Alrighty, here we are. Advisories are posted in some parts of the state. This right here is a dense fog advisory being indicated for the southwestern parts of the state. That will last until about 10 a.m. later this morning. The aerial flood watch in the northwestern parts of the state has been expanded till about 8 a.m. Tuesday, which now includes the northwestern parts of the state as well. Where the fog is currently at, looks like parts of Washington County seeing a little bit of that this morning. Other spots by Waterville and areas to the south and west are noticing some areas, some dense fog as well. So either way, hit and miss fog. Just be careful out there if you do have to travel this morning until the fog goes away. But for now, we do have clouds tracking in from the south going toward the north. We'll be watching generally today for a few showers on the way. Plenty of dry hours as well for most of us. So in the western parts of the state, we'll be watching out for more showers and possibly a few rumbles of thunder as well. Let's zoom things out and give you the bigger picture. So area low pressure right about in here, tracking off towards the north and east. That'll give us chances for showers today and good opportunities for showers and thunderstorms tonight. And then that chance backs off as we head towards tomorrow. So futurecast for today, a few showers on the way with better opportunities for showers and thunderstorms overnight tonight. Maybe some heavy downpours with that too. As we head things off for you Tuesday, some dry hours, some showers, and a few rumbles of thunder. When we start to catch a little bit of a break as we head towards Tuesday night, maybe a little bit of rain to the north, but very hit and miss, if even that at best. And then by Wednesday, we're looking pretty good. Here's the rain chances at least to midnight by later on tonight, though. And again, better opportunities to the west for rain that will be on the way. And that's why those aerial flood watches are on or are posted, though, for the most part. But as we do push forward for the next several days, again, watching for maybe an inch or so of rain before we're all finished up. Heaviest opportunities to the west and not so much further off towards the east. And dew points remain high as well. You might be feeling that outside with dew points that'll be in the lower to middle 60s for the next several days. Possibly even some upper 60s on the way as we head towards your Friday. So so we may need to watch for that. Average high temperature is 80 degrees, middle 70s today and tomorrow, upper 80s for your Wednesday, lower 80s for your Thursday, the remaining in the 70s Friday, Saturday, and also into your Sunday. So your forecast for today, middle 70s, mostly cloudy, some showers on the way. Plenty of dry hours as well with that east wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. By tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely. Areas of dense fog as well. Lows in the lower 60s. Southeast wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, middle 70s, mostly cloudy, a few thunderstorms on the way. That southeast wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scott's Recreation extended forecast, so a few showers today, some thunderstorms Tuesday. Also on the Wednesday, smaller chances for storms for your Thursday. Then we cool off a little bit into the 70s on Friday with another chance for storms on the way.
Jamar Construction Products in Bangor continues to grow to meet our customers' needs, supplying products for site work contractors, concrete contractors, and survey and safety supplies. We are proud to be the local dealer for Hilti, Valley Blades, U.S. Fabrics, and Euclid Chemical, plus so much more. Stop by and see us at 1270 Hammond Street or give us a call at 907-4491. If you dig it, pour it, plow it, fasten it, lay it, or lift it, Jamar Construction Products can help you.
Bangor, you asked for it. Big Time Rush are coming. Big Time Rush, live in concert. Can't Get Enough tour. Main Savings Amphitheater, July 11th. With special guest Max and featuring Jax. Get tickets now at waterfrontconcerts.com and Ticketmaster.com. For more, visit BigTimeRushOfficial.com.
ABC 7, Fox 22, Mainly Eyes, and River's Edge Chiropractic want to send you to see the Kids Pop Never Stop Live Tour, Saturday, July 22nd at the Main Savings Amphitheater in Bangor. Sign up to win tickets by registering at Mainly Eyes in the Bangor Mall. Your #1 choice for eye care and eyewear. Mainly Eyes. You'll see the difference. And River's Edge Chiropractic Wellness Center in Old Town. Win tickets to see Kids Pop, July 22nd on the Bangor waterfront.
We were on the Christmas storm. We had just fixed 2 broken lines. We heard screaming coming from across the road.
I was so scared that I was going to lose him. He's the apple of my eye.
Nancy said that Kai was choking, and so I gave him a good hard hit in between his shoulder blades and saw something come out of his mouth, so I knew that was a good sign.
If Dana wasn't here, I don't know what I'd done. He just showed up out of the blue, saved his life.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
A manhunt is underway in Cleveland after police responded to a mass shooting early yesterday morning. Fox's Alexandria Hoff is in Washington with the latest on that and what lawmakers say is being done to address the rise in gun violence across the country.
Shooting in downtown Cleveland sent multiple people to the hospital Sunday after a gunman opened fire on a crowd of people before fleeing the scene and launching a citywide manhunt. According to police, at least one person is in serious condition.
I am sick and tired of getting these calls late at night.
In New York City, a separate shooting left an elderly man dead and 3 others injured Saturday after police say a man on a scooter went on a random shooting spree spanning multiple boroughs before he was taken into custody.
Our hearts go out to all the families affected by the senseless violence.
For some living in the neighborhood, they say the violence seems to be increasing lately.
Well, I get that.
You have to have your eyes well open, looking at all sides, because at any minute you could be hit by a stray bullet.
The back-to-back shootings are just the latest, making 2023 one of the most violent years on record. The Gun Violence Archive reports nearly 400 mass shootings have taken place so far this year, taking the lives of more than 22,000 Americans.
It's very scary, that's all I can say. I mean, even there's nothing I can do, probably.
Now, despite the number of shootings, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are voicing optimism that gun violence is decreasing in major U.S. cities and credit last year's passage of the bipartisan Safer Communities Act that called for enhanced background checks for buyers. In Washington, Alexandria Hoff, Fox News.
An airstrike in Sudan has left at least 22 people dead. The attack on Omdurman is one of the deadliest air attacks yet in the months-long struggle between warring generals, according to health authorities. The assault took place in the city near the nation's capital, Khartoum. It's unclear how many people were injured. Last month, an airstrike killed at least 17 people, including 5 children in Khartoum. The violence coming as the country's military continues to fight for power against a paramilitary group. The conflict started back in mid-April and continues to rage on. President Joe Biden is in Europe this morning, where he and fellow leaders of NATO nations are gearing up for a critical summit in Lithuania. As the president doubles down on his calls for Sweden to join the alliance, he says Russia's war in Ukraine must end before Ukraine can be added to the ranks. ABC's Justin Finch is following the latest from Washington.
High-level security across Lithuania's capital city, where President Joe Biden and more than 30 leaders of NATO nations are set for a decisive conference.
We will stand by Ukraine. We will provide support to Ukraine for as long as it takes.
NATO's Secretary General reiterating the alliance's support for Kyiv, though he and President Biden stopping short of considering Ukraine for immediate NATO membership.
I don't think there is unanimity in NATO about whether or not to bring Ukraine into the NATO family now.
On Capitol Hill, bipartisan agreement. House Foreign Affairs Committee Chair Michael McCall on CNN.
We cannot admit Ukraine into NATO immediately.
Senate Democrat Tim Kaine appearing on Fox News.
The focus right now should be helping Ukraine win this war.
Ukraine's President Zelensky saluting NATO's support.
We are talking about a clear signal, some concrete things in the direction of an invitation.
Amid Russia's war in Ukraine, nearby nations Finland and Sweden applied for NATO membership. Finland was approved, but Turkey and Hungary are holding up Sweden's admission, which requires unanimous NATO authorization. In a call with Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, the White House says President Biden voiced his desire to see Sweden admitted to NATO as soon as possible. And Turkey's President Erdogan and Sweden's Prime Minister are set for a face-to-face meeting today with NATO's Secretary General. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Coming up on the second half of the newscast, a convoy of veterans set off from Bangor to head to Monson over the weekend to embark on a 100-mile, 10-day trek up Katahdin in order to raise money for other service members. We'll have this and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Harris Lumber is locally owned and has been serving the Pequot region for more than 50 years. See them for all your projects, big or small. Customer service is their #1 priority. And with a full line of lumber and hardware items, they can also deliver to your job site. Harris Lumber, Milo.
Tesoro Italian Restaurant serves Bangor's best pizza, pasta, and sandwiches. Located in downtown Bangor across from the library. Open Tuesday through Saturday 3 to 9 and Sunday 3 to 8. The bar is also open 9 to 1 Friday and Saturday night. Come in and taste what everybody's talking about.
Do you remember your first day at school? The nerves and excitement, seeing your friends and new teachers, or what to wear. You know, we feel every kid deserves to look their best, especially on their first day of school. Bring your new or like-new school clothes like sweaters, sweatshirts, and coats to any Jordan's Furniture. And Cradles to Crayons will make sure those clothes you bring in will help a child in need. Their day and the days to come will be happier because of you.
A taxing driver hit me, and the insurance company only offered me this tiny check.
Don't take a tiny check from the insurance company.
Lowry & Associates got me over $350,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
Call 222-2222.
Approximately 50,000 kids, like Brooke, receive care at Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center each year. You can help them by supporting the Summer Classic for Maine Kids. This new tournament will help all kids receiving care at Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center by raising funds to ensure that pediatric care is available today, tomorrow, and in the years ahead. Every dollar raised helps kids get back to the business of being kids. For more information about the event and how to donate, please visit northernlight.org/4kids.
I really like you. This is real.
The only doubt that I have is an engagement.
With past relationships, ignoring the red flags made me feel foolish. That rose on his chest, who's to say I can't clip that?
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith, and today is Monday, July 10th, 2023, and today is National Kitten Day. If you've been thinking about adopting, maybe this is your sign. The Bangor Humane Society has more than a handful of kittens up for adoption, as well as many other lovable cats who are in need of homes. I saw at least three-month-old kittens, I believe. They're quite young, but plenty others are under the age of 1. So they have a variety of different ages of cats right now. A lot of cats up for adoption. So this also makes today a great day to pick the minds of your peers. Are you a cat person or are you a dog person? I'd say you can learn so much about a person from questions like these. Okay, now for a bit of history. On this day in 1890, Wyoming became the 44th state here in America, also becoming the first to give women the right to vote. In 1892, the first concrete paved street was built in America, located in Bellefontaine, Ohio. In 1911, our state of Maine experienced record-breaking heat. For our state, at least, it was 105 degrees Fahrenheit in North Bridgeton. I believe a couple years later, the nation's record was broken. It was at 130 degrees Fahrenheit, so about a 20-degree difference, and that was in California, just for comparison. In 1938, Howard Hughes flew around the world in 91 hours. And in 1978, World News Tonight premiered on ABC with Max Robinson as the first black news anchor on a network newscast in the United States. For birthdays today, we have actress Sofia Vergara. She is 51 today. Singer and pop star Jessica Simpson is 43 today. And actress Phyllis Smith, known for her role in The Office, is 72 today. Her role in The Office is Phyllis as well, so it's very fitting. Okay, moving on now. Let's check in with Devin Biggs. There is going to be quite a bit of rain, but also some breaks in that rain, so not like what we were seeing a couple weeks ago at least. Here's Devin.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Happy Monday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. All right, let's get things rolling out there. And again, we have dense fog advisories on a few spots this morning, mainly in the southwestern parts of the state, running until about 10 a.m. this morning. The fog, rather patchy in nature, but on top of that, we're watching for rain that'll be moving into. This aerial flood watch has been expanded to include the northwestern parts of Maine until 8 a.m. as we head towards your Tuesday. Here's where the fog is at right now. Not too bad in our neck of the woods, maybe a little bit in a few spots like Washington County and other spots, but mainly a gust in areas to the south and west. Noticing some areas of dense fog developing there this morning. Otherwise, so we're looking pretty decent out there. Clouds moving in. Maybe a few showers on the way as the day progresses on. Nothing too ridiculous. Plenty of dry hours as well. We'll be watching the rain slowly moving in from the west to the east, as showers and thunderstorms will be on the way this week as well. Let's zoom things out and give you the bigger picture. So here we are. So we have all this rain that's off toward the west right now, trying to track off towards the north and east. But again, more showers and storms on the way for us later on tonight, and also continuing into the daytime tomorrow. So futurecast for today, just a few showers today, but by tonight, better chances for showers and thunderstorms move in, with some breaks on the way as we head towards a Tuesday. Hourly forecast moving forward, showing chances for a few showers, temperatures in the 70s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Emma?
Thank you, Devin. Motorcyclists and Jeeps took off on a special trek Saturday morning to honor Maine veterans. Wilderness Walk for Warriors, a group dedicated to helping veterans, held their 10th annual Support and Escort motorcycle ride, an initiative to acknowledge fallen veterans. The team set off on their rides in Bangor to start their journey to Monson, where from there they'll hike 100 miles in 10 days to Mount Katahdin to raise money for veterans and service members. Supporters came out to join in and bring attention to the cause.
It's raising awareness. The motto of Wilderness Walk for Warriors is assisting the living, honoring the deceased. It's to honor the memories, and these are all service members who are not with us anymore and Maine law enforcement who are not with us anymore.
The group plans to carry the flags of fallen service members throughout the entire 10-day hike. To support Maine veterans, visit the Wilderness Walk for Warriors Facebook page. And we'll be having Chris on our show very soon to talk about this cause as well. Still to come here this morning, we'll have your weekend sports recap. Don't go away.
Here we are at Rennie's in Wells on Route 1. Let's go see some people. Come on.
We need some swimsuit and some fun stuff for the kids to do and enjoy the beach.
What game did you get?
Candyland.
Candyland. That's a good one.
Oh, that is a good
That's a fun game.
Awesome store, down to earth. I love it. It's just a fantastic. It's an adventure coming here all the time. It's like a treasure hunt. No, I know. That's a slogan, but I mean, that's what it's about. Rennie's main adventure.
For over 25 years, Maine Collision Center has been your main source for collision repair. Take a look at the following and you'll see why Maine Collision Center brings their team of collision repair specialists to guarantee the right person for the right repair job every time. The result, vehicles restored to their beauty and dependability without the weights and hassles. Owner Sean Sullivan invites you to see his spacious new facility on Target Industrial Circle and see why Maine Collision Center should be your choice for collision repair.
I got hurt by a big truck. Why did I call the twos? Because life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. We got a client who broke multiple bones in a commercial vehicle accident. $700,000. Call the twos. We win for you.
Every night is pizza night at Dragonfire Pizza. From wings, salads, and sides to our specialty wood-fired pizzas. You'll find everything you need to satisfy any craving by the slice or by the pie. A little slice of heaven is waiting for you at Dragonfire Pizza, Mill Mall, Ellsworth.
All the nonsense
Fibber.
meets no nonsense.
I don't buy it.
Judge Judy.
Weekdays at 5 on ABC 7.
Welcome back in, everyone, and thank you for staying with us. For the second straight summer, a few Hamden Academy brothers are hitting the road for the 2023 Junior Gold National Bowling Championship. And this year, they're after more than just a midsummer trip.
I'm ready to roll. We got 17 hours in the car, so it'll be a little bit, but we'll be ready.
Meet the Adams brothers. Connor, Ryan, and Alex, the trio from Hamden, are heading back to Bowling Nationals for the second consecutive summer as a group.
I mean, it's going to be pretty surreal. I'm going to bowl 16 games in 2 days, so just going to try to make it through the week, and they're going to watch me. I'm going to help them once they get out there, and we're going to do a couple fun tournaments while we're out there as well.
The tournament is called the Junior Gold 2023 National Championships, located in Indianapolis, and the three are competing in the U20, U18, and U15 divisions. For Connor and Ryan, it's their third straight year, and last summer, Ryan even cashed, winning a couple $100 in scholarship money based on his performance.
So there's this thing called Smart Account. It's a program through bowling where you earn money, scholarship money, as tournament prizes instead of taking cash. I went out there, I didn't expect much. I expected to finish towards the bottom again, but I kind of surprised myself. So this year I'm going back, probably going to take a little bit more serious, to be honest.
So now he's out for more, and so are the rest of them. Connor, a bowler for Cumberland University as a freshman, and Alex are all bowling to make a cut this year.
But now I want to make a cut. That's the goal this year. Just make the cut and get the job done.
There's just so many good bowlers out there, but having cash last year, I do hope, the goal is to get better every year. So I'm hoping to be able to cash again, hopefully maybe even make the first cut.
This time it's a business trip.
But it didn't always start like that.
When we first went out there, it was rough. We're averaging 150s. Now, if we don't shoot 200, we're mad at ourselves, which is pretty crazy to think. Before, if we shot 200, we'd freak right out.
So while it's a business trip, it's still family business.
It's going to be great. My mom's going to be going with us. Be a good time to spend with my brothers where I was away this past year for school. I miss them a lot.
But that doesn't stop them from getting those competitive juices flowing, too.
We're competitors. We all are very serious, whether it be baseball, basketball, even out here on these lanes. That's what we want to do, is just be the best we can, and this is the best opportunity we get for that.
Wishing them luck out there. We'll catch up with them when they get back. It's time for some basketball now. Down in Memphis, the Memphis Grizzlies introduced their new point guard, Marcus Smart, on Friday evening. Our first time hearing from him since the big trade. After spending 9 years with the Celtics and racking up 9 postseason appearances, Smart said it took a bit for him to process the trade, but now he's excited to get rolling with his new team, and the outpouring love from Boston fans after the news didn't come as a shock to him one bit.
The fan reaction in the city of Boston was exactly what I expected to be, and what anybody who's played in Boston would expect it to be. It's all love, and they ride for the city hard, man, just like Memphis, right? So and that's how it should be. You're supposed to ride for your city like that.
Smart was a huge part of the Celtics teams of recent memory. He came in right after the KG and Pierce trade and really was here from the rebuilding years through now, where the Celtics now expect to compete for a title year in and year out. And he says after really growing up in the city, Boston is still his second home.
I've been through some stuff, and it's all been in Boston, and Boston's my second home. So it's been tough, and they're always going to have a place in my heart. And everything I accomplished, I left everything I had wearing that jersey out on that court.
Sad to see him go. Excited to see what he does next. Let's move on to some baseball now. The MLB draft begins Sunday night and runs through Tuesday the 11th. There are 20 rounds, and ESPN just released their final rankings. From Marshwood High School in the University of Maine, Quinn McDaniel was ranked 152nd on the list of draft prospects. That puts him around the 5th round. So out of a 20-round draft, that's pretty early. We would hear his name called sometime on Monday. McDaniel was a 2-time first-team All-America East. He was a huge part in Maine's success these last 2 years, winning 2 regular season titles and a conference championship. He actually set the conference record for most walks in a single season last year with 60. He stole 32 bases with 16 homers, had a .352 average last spring as well. So wishing him the best of luck. Round one will be broadcast on ESPN Sunday at 7. Round 2 moves to ESPN Plus and MLB Network, and rounds 3 through 10 can be seen Monday on MLB.com starting at 11 a.m. That's all the time we have for sports. Be right back after the break.
Do you want to improve or upgrade your home? Well, At Home Furniture, Appliance, and Bedding in Lincoln and Dover Foxcroft has got you covered. We pride ourselves in the relationships we build with every customer, from commercial businesses to homeowners. We have some of the best prices on the best brands of appliances, furniture, and mattresses, and we even offer full kitchen and bath remodels with a designer and installers on staff. So stop in today and check us out at one of our locations and see what we can do to make you feel at home.
Established in 1925, Bangor Floral has been a premier provider of beautiful floral arrangements and thoughtful gifts for almost 100 years. Whatever the occasion, our premium collection of colorful blooms, blossoming plants, and gift baskets have warmed hearts for generations. We strongly support the Buy Local movement, purchasing directly from local farms and growers, and we are committed to the preservation of our environment. Bangor Floral, located at 332 Harlow Street. Stop in today to experience a flower shop like no other.
Local Maine artists took over downtown Bangor on Saturday. Our David Ledford hit the streets to see what unique items artists had to offer.
I think it's really awesome to see local artists having a time to shine.
The Downtown Bangor Sidewalk Art Festival returned Saturday, and this year organizers say it's bigger than ever. Approximately 75 vendors line the streets to sell their art in a variety of mediums: paintings, prints, jewelry, pottery, and more.
We like to see the people coming in and getting joy out of our product.
I bought a few prints so far. Which is cool.
Organizers say it's important to bring back events like these to help local artists.
Creating artwork is often a solitary event, and you need environments where you can sell your art to people. And so creating these collaborative events where you bring people down and they get to experience the art of a lot of people, it really does help support the arts community in a very direct way.
With live demonstrations, music, and food vendors, some volunteers say they're hoping to bring in more tourists to the city.
It's important because it may bring more people to downtown Bangor. But downtown Bangor is so pretty, and it's a great walking city. It's just fun. It's festive, which is something that we all need right now.
Some artists say the event has helped them make connections.
Gets me a little bit more known in the community. I'm still fairly new to the area. I'm originally from New Hampshire, so this gives me an opportunity to meet the local people and other artists, and maybe get some collaboration ideas.
Others say having a platform to share their work has meant a lot to them.
Art is pretty much all I want to do, so it's really nice and
invigorating to see all the support.
Organizers say they're already planning for next year's festival. To learn more, visit downtownbangor.com. In Bangor, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, now here's meteorologist Evan Biggs with our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. Alrighty, here we are. Advisories are posted in some parts of the state. This right here is a dense fog advisory being indicated for the southwestern parts of the state. That will last until about 10 a.m. later this morning. The aerial flood watch in the northwestern parts of the state has been expanded till about 8 a.m. Tuesday, which now includes the northwestern parts of the state as well. Where the fog is currently at, looks like parts of Washington County seeing a little bit of that this morning. Other spots by Waterville and areas to the south and west, and noticing some areas, some dense fog as well. So either way, hit and miss fog. Just be careful out there if you do have to travel this morning until the fog goes away. But for now, we do have clouds tracking in from the south going toward the north. We'll be watching generally today for a few showers on the way. Plenty of dry hours as well for most of us. So in the western parts of the state, we'll be watching out for more showers and possibly a few rumbles of thunder as well. Let's zoom things out and give you the bigger picture. So area low pressure right about in here, tracking off towards the north and east. That'll give us chances for showers today and good opportunities for showers and thunderstorms tonight. And then that chance backs off as we head towards tomorrow. So futurecast for today, a few showers on the way with better opportunities for showers and thunderstorms overnight tonight. Maybe some heavy downpours with that too. As we head things off for you Tuesday, some dry hours, some showers, and a few rumbles of thunder. But we start to catch a little bit of a break as we head towards Tuesday night. Maybe a little bit of rain to the north, but very hit and miss, if even that at best. And then by Wednesday, we're looking pretty good. Here's the rain chances at least to midnight by later on tonight, though. And again, better opportunities to the west for rain now be on the way. And that's why those aerial flood watches are on or are posted, though, for the most part. But as we do push forward for the next several days, again, watching for maybe an inch or so of rain before we're all finished up. Heaviest opportunities to the west and not so much further off towards the east. And dew points remain high as well. You might be feeling that outside with dew points that'll be in the lower to middle 60s for the next several days. Possibly even some upper 60s on the way as we head towards your Friday. So we may need to watch for that. Average high temperature is 80 degrees. Middle 70s today and tomorrow. Upper 80s for you Wednesday. Lower 80s for your Thursday. The remaining in the 70s Friday, Saturday, and also into your Sunday. So your forecast for today, middle 70s, mostly cloudy, some showers on the way. Plenty of dry hours as well with that east wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. By tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely. Areas of dense fog as well. Lows in the lower 60s. Southeast wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, middle 70s, mostly cloudy, a few thunderstorms on the way. That southeast wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scott's Recreation extended forecast. So a few showers today, some thunderstorms Tuesday. Also on the Wednesday, smaller chances for storms for you Thursday. Then we cool off a little bit into the 70s on Friday with another chance for storms on the way.
We get up and go, no matter what day it is. We make sure nothing keeps us from doing what needs to be done, because we're driven by what we love. Milwaukee's Outdoor Power Equipment handles any job, big or small. From trimmers, blowers, and mowers to pole and chainsaws, Milwaukee's battery-operated, high-output tools will help get you to the moments that matter most. Get what you need to keep you firing on all cylinders when you sign up for Napa Rewards. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, contact the law offices of Joe Bornstein to learn about your legal rights. Maine has the highest rate of mesothelioma fatalities in the U.S. You may be eligible to receive compensation if you were exposed to asbestos products while working in a shipyard, mill, factory, or construction site. For a free case evaluation, dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
The first ever Mazda CX-50, purpose-built for the outdoors. With our most advanced driving technology for responsive, consistent performance, on-road and off, that entices you to go further, more often.
Find your new Mazda today at Varney Mazda, 260 Hogan Road in Bangor, and discover what Varney value is all about.
The industry-first 2-in-1 removable agitator from Whirlpool gives you 2 ways to wash. Jeans, in. Sweaters, out. Towels, in. Comforters, out. You decide. Whirlpool.
Key Appliance, we hold the key to savings.
Tonight.
Holy cow. Have
have things taken a turn.
This competition is still anybody's game.
Let's play.
Find out who's related to who on an all-new Claim to Fame. Tonight, 8/7 Central on ABC.
Your digital life and accounts are requiring more protections. That also means more chances of lockouts. Lots of online accounts now use two-factor authentications, which means presenting two ways of proof that you are you. But if you get locked out or forget where the codes are, security experts recommend putting codes on a Google account and access the codes with the Google Authenticator app on a different device. Security experts also suggest getting a new SIM card to transfer texts and calls to a new phone, and to consider saving one-time use backup codes or a physical security key as your main authenticator. A lot of stuff, I know. In other news, nature may have a new source for providing painkillers, and they could be in your backyard or nearby park. Scientists at the University of Bath in England, they say have found a way to make medicines like ibuprofen and acetaminophen made from pine trees. Those painkillers are usually made from crude oil, but researchers say continuing to use crude oil is unsustainable due to expense, political instability, and rising CO2 emissions. Biorefinery processes using turpentine components from pine trees could make ibuprofen and acetaminophen. And the turpentine derivatives are sustainable, plant-based, and help reduce greenhouse gas emissions. I didn't even know that gas was used to make things like that. That's crazy. All right, lastly now, a lovable seal mammal gets a seal of approval to be just like one of the guys in the water. Okay. There's plenty of room. Sorry, I had to fix the prompter. There's plenty of room and board on surfboards for Sammy, a baby seal. Sammy's been palling around with surfers at Tourmaline Surf Park in San Diego. Videographer Ed Hartel said he was routinely looking for surfers to photograph when he noticed Sammy randomly swimming up alongside surfers, then climbing onto the nose of their boards and getting into a banana pose for riding fun with them.
Well, I was just doing my normal route, looking for surfers to film, and I saw him on a board and thought, oh, that's cool. A seal jumped up on a board, but what I noticed was he wasn't leaving the board. He was staying there. And then I left him alone, came back a little bit later, and found him swimming to a different group of people to get on their boards.
Surfers are careful not to touch Sammy, and SeaWorld says despite the unusual behavior, he seems healthy and playful, kind of reminiscent of Andre the Seal in Maine. All right, Good Morning America is next on ABC 7. You can stay with us for the second hour. That's next.
ABC